I'm Susan McGinnis in the Energy News Center. Oil prices are hovering around $84 a barrel at mid-morning on this Friday as the market focuses on everything from the Greek debt crisis to greater stockpiles to the Deepwater Horizon explosion in the Gulf. Meantime, natural gas continues to struggle under the weight of heavy supplies and weak demand, although prices are up just a bit at mid-morning. Here is some more perspective is Phil Flynn. He's an analyst at PFG Best Research, also a contributor to Fox Business Channel, joining us from Chicago. Phil, good to see you again.
Good morning, Susan. Good to be here.
It's good to see you. What are traders watching the most right now? We have Greece looking for a financial rescue. We have the U.S. and the world economic recovery, stock market, the dollar, and of course the Deepwater tragedy.
You know, I think, you know, it's like a scene from The Exorcist because they have to spin their head every 5 minutes to look at something new. I mean, there is just so much to look at. I mean, whether it is the Greece crisis, which pushed oil prices lower early because concerns that this is going to grow, it's going to spread. We saw a flight to quality to the dollar, which pushed oil prices down. But then, you know, you get this healthy dose, of economic optimism. These housing sales blow away expectations. The stock market starts to rally, and the money starts coming back into the long side on oil. And it really is an amazing day to look at what's driving oil these days, from unprecedented spread trading, whether it be between the crude oil here in the U.S. and the Brent crude, or whether it be, you know, the spreads between the front and the back, or the gas crack or the heating crack. Just so much going on, and with all this stuff going on, and then you look at oil, what it's done this week, it's really been in kind of the same trading range all week. So a lot of action, but we really are going nowhere on price.
Right, that is what it looks like. Tell me a little bit more about this accident in the Gulf of Mexico and what you feel. Yeah. You wrote about this in your energy report that's on the website. Yeah. The impact really on the offshore drilling debate, because this comes at quite a crucial time. These events still are so rare.
Oh, they are. I mean, this is a freak accident, you know, and, you know, I mean, the loss of life is terrible. I mean, and I'm worried that you know, the people on the other side of the debate against drilling is going to use this one incident as the reason why we shouldn't drill. And, you know, I would look at it from the other perspective. It's the reason why we should drill, because these accidents are so rare. I mean, we had more accidents probably on the expressways coming into work today than they've had accidents, you know, out drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. And so you really don't want to stop progress because of a terrible tragedy like this. And, you know, I mean, to me, I take this very emotional. I know a lot of people in the industry. I talk to these people that get on these drill rigs. I mean, in another era, I think that what they're doing down in the Gulf of Mexico would be like a national craze. You know, I mean, what they're doing, in my opinion, is, you know, historic and incredible, and it's going to have such a major impact on the economy and all of our lives. And, you know, if you really understood, you know, the challenges and that we're overcoming down in the Gulf of Mexico to get oil supplies to secure our security and our future, it's just an amazing story, and it's sad to see that people, you know, lost their lives, you know, trying to reach those goals.
Right, exactly, and also amazing at such a time as now, when there's such a push to increase offshore drilling. The opponents are certainly going to use this one. What's your sense of the future of this new incredible technology, ultra deep water drilling?
You know, I think we're in our infancy. I mean, it's amazing. If you think about that, we can drill, you know, 6, 7 miles down to the bottom of the ocean and find the oil. It almost erases the fears about peak oil. You know, I think this type of technology is in its infancy, and I think if you look at down the road, you know, the people with small minds will say, well, we've hit peak oil, it's all over, it's coming to an end. But I look at it a different way. I look at these type of these rigs, the technology that goes behind it, the ingenuity, and I'm very optimistic about our future. I mean, if you consider the fact that most of this world is covered by ocean, there's so much that has been left to be discovered. I'm just very excited about our future, and I think this is good. You know, in fact, this rig that went down, the Horizon, you know, this is a historic piece of equipment. I mean, you know, this is like the Spirit of St. Louis. This is like, you know, the Space Shuttle Challenger. I mean, this is the thing that the rig that set the record for the deepest well ever drilled, and to me, I think it's a huge national loss.
I mean, do you think that when it comes to energy security and the potential for boosting U.S. domestic supplies of energy, that this technology rivals the shale gas finds and the technology used to get at those, the hydrofracking and horizontal drilling?
Down the road. I mean, it's not obviously going to, replace everything in the beginning, but no, I think it's the beginning of that technology. And like I said, I mean, right now we're drilling 6 miles down to the ocean. Who knows what depths we can in the future? And I do believe that this is the beginning of the end of peak oil. I do believe this technology is going to have a major impact. And it's not going to be just the drilling, though that's going to be a big part of it. But as we get smarter with the way that we use oil, we could become more fuel efficient. And I do think that the future looks very bright when we talk about supplies that we thought we could never get are now going to be very possible.
And I just want to get a brief take from you on natural gas, because we had inventories showing a rise this week. Speculation says rising production, weak demand will continue, sending stockpiles surging in the coming months. Also, of course, we have the rig count up nearly half since last July. How bearish are you on prices?
You've got to be pretty bearish, but I think we're trying to put in a little bit of a seasonal bounce here, because this time of year the market tries to build in, a little bit of a hurricane premium. Do I think we're going to fall out of bed immediately? Probably not. I think until we get into the heart of hurricane season, we're probably going to range, maybe as high as 440, maybe as low as 330. But there's no doubt that the bulls have incredible hurdles to overcome if they're going to get a sustainable rally on this. So I think long term you have to be bearish on prices. I think we are going to go lower. Short term, more of a trading range, but the trend is still down. The bulls, if they're going to make a run on this towards $5, they're really going to have to finish this move out. Close the front month above 420, then they might have a shot.
Okay, we'll keep watching. Phil Flynn, PFG Best Research, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Susan.
We appreciate it. And I'm Susan McGinnis in the Energy News Center.